And we're back again. Welcome, guys, to Rhythm Fantasy
Tag.
Sports. You guys are actually just hitting our waiver section of the night, so it's kind of a so we're all stoked. So we figured to take a little break and just kind of just refresh ourselves and let's get into the waivers section for Tuesday night waivers, so everybody can run to the waivers and pick up who they want to pick up. And
T minus, if you're Central Time, T minus less than 4 hours, you better get them waiver claims in. Love those products. You should, D. You should also love my Fab Five here. Rush out and get these guys in particular. This was thought out. I couple different options I could have gone with, and like always, I try to clarify. Well, Eli, why don't you go and grab XYZ? Why don't you go grab Josh Kelly or go grab one? Because he's not at 20%. I do Yahoo and I do under 20%. So we keep it to guys who I think universally you can get 10, 12, 16, 20 man guys that you can universally go and get. You don't have to be like, oh well, they're only available in my 10 or my 12 man. No, these guys should be available in most format, especially Yahoo. Amari DiMercato, you know what? He let him in rushing attempts again. Had 13 carries. Yeah, 13 carries, 58 yards. This is the second time in 3 games that he's led the Cardinals. And while James Conner is out, I know they've signed a couple guys, but DiMercato, yeah, I think he's the feature. You know what? I'm gonna say he's the feature back right now. Until proven otherwise. When Kyler comes back, that's probably going to change some things. Kyler's going to eat up a lot of the rushing yards, I would assume, if he's fully healthy. So that might change things. But at least for the next week or two, I'm going to say DiMercato, because he's a running back. Obviously, he's not the best player on this list, but running backs are so hard to find that if you can find one that can put up 58 yards in a game or 62 yards a game, you got to snag him up and stash him on the bench. You know what? This is like, going to the store and, oh man, they got the new flavor of Mountain Dew in. Like I didn't expect this. It's like going to the store, find something you didn't expect. I didn't know Darnell Mooney was only at 16% owned. I like that. I like that quite a bit.
isn't that
They
funny?
got rid of yeah. I funny, you funny. Finally got rid of that, well, I can't use this bad word. Chase Claypool, yeah, he's with another team now. He was awful. He was eating up cap space. Just get him out of the NFL. Chase Claypool is junk. Okay, Darnell Mooney, nobody in his way except DJ Moore now. I think he's back to being the Bears' number 2 if he ever even left that spot, which is where I predicted him all along. When a couple years ago he was miscast as the Bears' number 1, he's slotted in at number 2 now, which is perfect. Badgin's got some weapons to work with. I like Cole Kmet. We both like DJ Moore a lot. Darnell Mooney should benefit from that. The Bears finally seem to have something going. Only 16% owned. He's worth a spot, especially 16, man. You can find a spot on your bench for Darnell Mooney. Absolutely. Demario Douglas, 0% rostered. He actually had week 1, had a decent game. He really did. He got hurt, and this past week had another decent game against the Bills. And Douglas is kind of a gadget guy, and I think Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones and the whole offensive side, I think they want to use him more. And at 0% owned, if you're in a deep 16, 20-man league, I wouldn't advocate him in a 10 or a 12, but this is more of like the deep cut. Like maybe Jamie might have him in sleeper too, for his deep cuts, but 16, 20 man, you could probably find a spot for Douglas. He's another guy. He's a candidate next week for the riser. So I might have him in the Jake Bobo segment from today. It might be Demario Douglas next week from the Patriots. Brandon Powell at number 4, only 2% rostered. He's their number 3. And the way Kirk Cousins is slinging the ball like a top 5 quarterback right now, well, he's slinging the ball being a number 3 receiver. And, Hawkinson obviously is a, bigger target than, Powell. But, it being the 4th option, number 3 receiver, that ain't a bad place to be in that offense. And so he'll be taking that role that normally belonged to KJ Osborne. KJ would pop a couple times a season. I think Powell will kind of be in that same role where, if it's a bye week and you're in a deep league, 16 man or something, Powell is definitely worth a look. definitely in 10-man. 10-man, stay away. 12 is pushing it, but 16-man, 20-man, definitely go and snag him up, stash him away. And then Taysom Hill, he's been getting a lot of love. The last 2 weeks, Taysom has had double-digit fantasy games. And he does this. He'll go on one of these streaks. He does this every year. It's a couple game streak. You go snag him up, and then you cast him off. You go Tom Hanks, cast away. Take Wilson, the volleyball, boot him out in the ocean. That's what you do with Taysom Hill. So if you got a bye week and you need to put a tight end in or a DFS guy that's cheaper, or a guy you can Taysom's only 11% roster. You need a guy for a bye week. This is the perfect option. That's why I put him in number 5, because to me Taysom is a bye week guy. I don't trust Taysom 10 games or 12 games or anything like that. Taysom is strictly, hey, Mark Andrews is on a bye, or Hawkinson's on a bye, Kittle's on a bye, and you need a serviceable tight end. That's the role for me that Taysom Hill fills. Any thoughts, Jay, before you move on to the sleeper side?
Yeah, DiMaccardo.
Not interested.
Well, he's honest. He's honest.
I'm just kidding. No, I would, my heart says no, but my brain says yes, just because my
like R. Kelly.
Keaton Ingram was total healthy scratch. I was like, because I actually had him played in one of my leagues, and he had 0 points, and I'm like, what the so I was like,
Are you mad?
Yes, I was mad, just because he didn't play. DiMaccardo came in and just took out, I dropped this guy last week, and now I have to go out and try to pick this guy up.
Are you nuts?
Yes, I'm nuts, but come on now.
High maintenance move.
Right?
Shouldn't have to think that hard.
Darnell Mooney? What? Darnell Mooney?
Are you nuts?
Why would I go for that guy for? I don't know. I guess he's getting some targets, I guess, sure, why not? That's just my opinion with the Bears, because they just, I don't know. Douglas Powell, Douglas, I haven't seen much of him. I know. I think you mentioned him in the week 1, maybe possibly, for a guy to pick up, and I was kind of like,
not interested.
I wasn't interested at the time, but I mean, maybe in a deeper league, yeah, sure, why not? Powell, I'd probably be a little bit more interested too. He's actually getting, especially with that offense, stuff like that too. I would totally be all over Powell, especially in deeper leagues. Smaller leagues, maybe not. Maybe 12, 14 possibly. 10 probably not at all, because it's already kind of stacked already. Taysom Hill, I don't know. Just do it. I know, as he would say, just do it. Go out and snag this guy. I don't have any shares of Taysom Hill. I'm just do it. I just don't know. I'm torn, because Taysom Hill, he could be a total wash one week, and then he can have 20 points the next week. So it's just kind of like, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, and it's kind of like,
He is a. Let me clarify. I said it before. I'll clarify it. Because I know Jay doesn't trust him either. He is strictly, like when you got to smash the glass to get to the fire extinguisher. That's him. Okay, he's in an emergency. I had a tight end injury. I had a healthy scratch. I have a bye week. That Taysom Hill, I stick in there, and I hope it's, and we just cross our fingers. Hope it's a 20-point week. Hope it's a 11-point week, and just move on. But yeah, no, week after, you're not picking him up week after week. It would be strictly a pickup for a week or two and drop. To me, that's Taysom.
I immediately regret this decision.
All right.
You won't.
Well, all right. Let's get into some sleeper sides here real quick. 10 to 12 man leagues. I know. I'm the fan of the guy in the 70s, slicked hair back, bandana. What's that guy's name? The gardener to the Minshew. I'm all
Minshew.
If he's playing like he did this last week, why the hell not actually go out and snag pit him, especially in 2 QB leagues? If he's still there, if he is still there, I would try to snag him up as fast as you could, just because he's a little bit more reliable quarterback, especially with the weapons he's got, and with Jonathan Taylor being there. Shit, why not? I mean, this is a great opportunity for him to be in, great role. I mean, he can run too if he needs to. So I like this. Cam Akers, he might be a little bit high, but I would just go out and just check just in case he might be out there. I mean, this is gonna be kind of a two-headed monster with Cam Akers kind of being there. So it's a little bit high, but just go out and just check just in case he might be out there if you need some running back help. Brandon Powell, yeah, I mean Eli just mentioned him too. He's only 4% rostered in leagues, and if you need a wide receiver, I don't see why. I mean, he's getting targets, he's getting fed. Why not? Josh Downs too. 52% rostered, but like I just said, right? It's like
Yeah.
But Josh Downs, he's
Yeah.
man-eater. So he's 52% roster. I know he's a little bit high, but just in case no one, if he's out there in some of your leagues, so if he's just hanging out there, go snag him up, get him in your leagues. I mean, he's gonna, Minshew, Downs to the Minshew is actually gonna be a thing now. So go out and get Josh Downs. I mean, his target share is kind of be going up.
Absolutely. And Jay does the higher percentage too. Like I keep it under 20, but he does a couple of the higher percentage because sometimes there's people in your league that are asleep at the wheel. There really is. And they'll let a guy like Josh Downs or Curtis Samuel or a lot of these guys just Minshew, whoever, they just slide under the radar and they're 50% rostered in Yahoo and Sleeper, and you can just come right in and get them.
Yeah.
Because people,
So,
like
yeah.
I said, people are sleeping on Cam Akers. How is Cam Akers only 40%, 47% roster? Have you seen some of these running backs? Have you seen some of these, 1-2 week fill-in guys that we talk about? Cam Akers is like, he's a two-headed monster. They didn't trust Madison. That's why they brought in some help. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. Akers and Downs, I love that.
Yeah. I got Trey McBride. He's at 8%. So if you need tight end, I know what you mentioned. I know Taysom Hill's kind of out there, but I'm not a fan of Taysom Hill. I'm just kind of, I'm
Not interested.
not interested in him. But Trey McBride, I am, just because Ertz is going to the IR. He's like,
And we say bye-bye.
so
Bye-bye.
So Trey McBride, his target share should be going up, especially with Dobbs being there, and Dobbs needs a safe blanket. McBride's going to be there, and honestly we don't know when if when Kyler Murray is coming back. He was kind of activated, so we don't know what's going to happen there. So in the meantime, Trey McBride he's just a safety blanket right now. And the Jets defense. They actually, the Jets defense 52% rostered, but they're at the Giants this week. They're at the freaking Giants. So, and they've been getting some sacks, getting some interceptions. I like the Jets defense this week.
Tyrod's
So
in
I mean,
trouble.
yeah,
Tyrod's
Tyrod.
in trouble. Yeah, Jets. I think the Jets. Honestly, man, I think the Jets might be the best defensive play of the week. They really are. I mean, Giants. They scored 9 against the Bills. 14 in the win over Washington. Like they can't score the ball. So and then with all the the sacks, probably a couple picks, it's gonna get ugly. I got the Jets all over them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I that slipped my mind. I appreciate you bringing up Trey McBride. That I just slipped my mind about Ertz going to the IR. I forgot about that. So yeah, Trey McBride's actually a better play than So I have no problem with Trey McBride or Taysom for a tight end snag. McBride, definitely. If he's going to be the one and only feature Cardinals tight end with the way Josh Dobbs has been slinging it, worth a pickup, absolutely.
Yep. That's why I was like, That's why I thought his value, he should be all right. All right. So that kind of covers the 10 to 12 man leagues. I know some of you guys play in those deeper leagues, like Eli and I, we play in those deeper leagues.
Deep cut.
Yes. Jake Bobo, 2% rostered. Why not? Especially if he's getting the targets and he's getting some receptions and some touchdowns up in there. Why not? Let's go pick him up, 2% rostered, especially if you got a Calvin Austin, from the Steelers, who's not really doing anything. And I had him slotted in a couple leagues, and he was kind of a bust that week. I was kind of frustrated, but he was kind of riser up and down too as well. But Jake Bobo, not a bad option. I said it. I just said it. Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
7% roster with with them maybe being, with them actually, having a bye this week, and maybe Zach Wilson comes out, and I should have wrote down who they're playing. They're playing the Giants. So I think this and could be a game for him to, kind of resurgence his what he's been doing here. Give him a little bit more of a boost, saying that he's at least a quality, decent quarterback that can get the job done. And that's what I'm going to be looking at for Zach Wilson this weekend, to see if he can actually get the job done. Tyson Bagent, we just talked about him earlier in the highlight. With Fields not being there this upcoming week, why not give Tyson Bagent a look and see what happens? I was scouting the waiver wire, and I mean, if Minshew's out there, I think he might be your best bet. Maybe so. I would probably rank him Minshew, Wilson, and Bagent that way in the waivers. Pierce Strong, 4% rostered with Ford more likely not playing for a couple weeks. Pierce Strong is not a bad ad behind Kareem Hunt. Not at all. And he actually he's good. He's legit. I mean, he's a decent running back, and he's a 1,000-yard running back from SCSU. So I mean, if he gets the opportunities, he can do things with the ball. And I mentioned earlier, Trey McBride is the other guy. And then the Chargers defense at 3%. I think they play the Panthers. I can't remember who they're playing. They're playing a weaker team. So I figured
they give up a lot of points, but there's always that potential because of how many studs they have on the defense that you can get points from sacks, maybe get a couple picks, especially with Bryce Young. If they confuse him a little bit, get a couple picks, force fumble, you can piece it. They're probably going to give up at least 20 points, even to Carolina. But, if you can piece it together, I mean, that's a hell of a deal, 3%.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so that's kind of the guys I thought in deeper leagues to actually try to go and chase. Any thoughts on that, Eli?
Oh wait, the Chargers are playing the Bears. Whoops. But same logic though. Same logic.
Yeah.
Bagent had a couple. He's had a game and a half that had been good, but he's still a rookie, so there's always that potential. So yeah, take what I said about Bryce Young and the Panthers and change it over to the Bears. Same logic.
Yeah, that's probably why I was put them in there, because I was like, oh wait a minute, I got Bagent as for a pickup in deeper leagues, but yeah, I got the Chargers defense against the Bears. I was gonna write this. I was gonna write this down, but
a lie.
I was trying to wrap up everything and get everything together and whatnot. Finish up, graphics and finish up the waiver wire, who I thought are good pickups for the week and whatnot. It was kind of getting down the wire, and I'm like, oh, well, it looks like the Chargers are going to be the defense to pick up this week.
Yeah. I like it. 3%. Yeah, that's you got a bye week defense. Yeah, if the Chargers defense is out there, absolutely, no matter what size league, go snag them up. It's a great matchup.
Yep.
Just do it.
All right. So I think that kind of covers our waiver section of everything. Just so we appreciate, if you guys got any comments or anything like that, leave them down below. If you thought we hit on some things, let us know. But yeah, this is our our out of rhythm fan. See, I even lost my train of thought there, because I was thinking of another segment, and I'm like trying to wrap up this segment, and I'm just like, I can't even talk tonight.
Well, I think if you were wearing a Rangers hat, I think it would have been your clarity of mind would have been a little better. Yeah, congratulations. Just a little MLB note. Congratulations to the Rangers headed to the World Series. Is it Game 7? Is that tonight of the Phillies and Diamondbacks, or is that tomorrow?
That's tonight. No, that's actually on tonight right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's probably going on right now. Yeah, we got some good you got some Warriors and Suns, the late game in the NBA, and then you got D-backs and the Phillies. Yeah. Yeah, do you want to check a score update? And I'll get the
It is actually 3-2 right now.
We'll segue first. We'll segue into the college spotlight, but
before we get up out of there, Diamondbacks 3, Phillies 2, and then So, all right, guys, that was kind of our waivers.
Okay.
A little slight delay with a little sports update there, quick, and so we'll be right back after our sponsor. So stay tuned.